I've detected a trend here. Saturday, a 4-0 sweep with the college complimentary plays, and they are all double-digit winners, but I lost my best bet. Yesterday, another sweep, this time 3-0, all college basketball double-digit winners, St. John's, Kentucky, and Dayton, and I lost my best bet. So today, I'm purposely going to give you a complimentary loser so I win my best bet. It's really that simple. It's deductive reasoning. Hi, everyone. Al DeMarco here, general manager at DeMarcosports.com. And yes, I've got some more college complimentary plays for you. Now, yesterday, my actual best bet happened to be South Carolina. And listen, when I grade plays at the site, I rely on the two big sports books that are legal just about everywhere among the 38 states that have legalized betting. Now, I'm not going to name those sports books because A, we have never recommended or advertised any sports books in the 22 years since I created the sites. And B, they're not paying me to endorse them, so screw them all. And that's reality. Matter of fact, a couple of years ago, we came to Las Vegas, had meetings with all the major sports books to see about them, doing some TV shows with them. And they all thought they could do better by having the pretty blonde, the ex-jock, and the moron host who really doesn't know much about sports. God bless them. They're spending millions and millions to try to get new customers and paying out huge bonuses. It really isn't a scenario that really works because they don't really talk gambling and talk to you. You're just all bonus whores, and I don't blame you. I'd be a bonus whore too. That's the way to be. Be a bonus whore. Take as many bonuses as you can because these guys are spending money hand over foot to get your action, but they can't retain you as players. That is the problem. Anyway, I digress. So anyway, my best bet happened to be South Carolina. And listen, you never grade plays by the closing line because nobody is betting the closing line. Generally, you look at the plays when they're released at that price and then midpoint of the day, about 2, 3 o'clock, because most guys have already bought the plays at the site. And if you're smart, you're getting in your action because 99% of the time you bet the favorites early, the underdogs late. That's just how it goes. So when I released South Carolina at the majority of the books, the Gamecocks were -3. They, of course, won by 3 against Ole Miss last night in Columbia. However, the other major sports book, that line immediately early in the morning jumped from 3 to 3.5. So listen, some of you might have gotten it as a push. Others of you lost it by a half point. I don't know where or when you bet it. So whoever had South Carolina in addition to me, it's a loss. End of story, and we move on. And the reality is this, I'm moving on to the NBA again tonight, and I'll pick up a win over there because I have been absolutely on fire in the NBA, where tonight I've got NBA winner, top-rated 15-time NBA winner number 19 out of 26 over the past 11 weeks going. And it's my third straight NBA mismatch of the week. And how easy were the first two? My God, the Suns, an 11.5-point road favorite, winning by 26 Washington on Sunday. And then the Mavericks, a 3.5-point road favorite, winning by 16 at Philadelphia on Monday. And this play is another mismatch. And FYI, if you want it, it's the half price play of the day. HALF is that coupon code over at DeMarcosports.com. Now, with that being said, let's get to your complimentary plays. Oh, by the way, hey guys, if you want a college basketball play from a guy who's absolutely on fire at the site, you might want to check out Shawn Michaels. So far, he has had 17 college basketball plays this season. He is 15-2. And those 17 plays have made $10 bettors so far this year, $9,525. That's wins minus losses minus the VIG. It's not a bad return on investment. And tonight, his big play is on James Madison, Arkansas State. I don't have an opinion on that one. But listen, it's available for over half price off using the coupon code COLLEGE. Very, very unique coupon code, don't you think? Over at DeMarcosports.com. Okay, let's get to your complimentary plays. And as usual, I will run them in reverse chronological order. Had no opinion on the James Madison game from the Sun Belt, but there is a Sun Belt game I am interested in. And it's Appalachian State, an 8-point favorite tonight at Texas State. App State, listen, has beaten James Madison twice this season and is in first place with a 1-game lead in the Sun Belt over Troy State, a 2-game lead over James Madison. And, this weekend on Saturday, Sun Belt is going to have the Sun Belt Mid-American Conference Challenge. And that's a pretty cool conference tournament because from the MAC, you have, of course, the top 2 teams, Akron and Toledo. And you have 3 pretty good teams in the Sun Belt with App State, Troy, and, of course, James Madison. So App State is coming off a very difficult game, and this is going to be its 3rd straight road game since beating James Madison for the 2nd time this season at home. They needed overtime after rallying from a 12-point first-half deficit and then a 9-point deficit midway through the second half to win at Georgia Southern in its last game. Prior to that, it won at Georgia State. But that 85-84 overtime win at Saturday at Georgia Southern, a team that is not good at all, that is an interesting game because now they're going to Texas State. Texas State, 9-14, 5-4 at home, 1-7 in January. But the Bobcats have beaten Southern Miss and South Alabama in their first 2 games, both at home so far this month. And think about it. App State from Boone, North Carolina, goes and plays in Georgia. Now you've got to go to San Marcos, Texas, before returning home to play in that MAC Challenge this weekend. I think the 8-point spread is asking a little too much, even though App State is by far the better team in this particular spot, going in with an 8-game winning streak, 19-4 on the season. I think the way to play this game is to take Texas State plus the points. So I like the underdog in that spot. Missouri State is taking on Northern Iowa. This is another one of my favorite conferences, Missouri Valley. It's a revenge game for the Bears, who lost at home 64-62 on January 3rd. Now, 3 weeks ago, Missouri State was in the midst of a losing streak. They had lost 5 out of 6 games. Unprompted, their athletic director released a public statement to the Bears fans, all 17 of them. Pissed off a few people there, haven't I? Apologizing for the team's play. And then Dana Ford, the embattled head coach, who I think with that statement was kind of thrown under the bus, well, then he whipped his team, criticizing from their lack of effort. Later, he went on to say that they weren't playing competitive basketball. Lo and behold, the Bears go out and they knock off Drake. And that starts a 4-game winning streak, a stretch where in 3 of those 4 games, they score at least 81 points. And in the last 3 games, suddenly they're getting all this balanced scoring. 5 players in each one of those games scoring at least 10 points. Well, that's the team that is going on a roll into Northern Iowa tonight, and they're getting 4 to 4.5 points. Northern Iowa, meanwhile, has lost 3 straight games. The first 2, they were at least competitive. I can't tell you what the hell happened to Northern Iowa at home against Murray State over the weekend, because it was just a pathetic performance by the Panthers. And say that 3 times quickly. They got crushed at home, 71-43. They shot 30.6% in the game. They were out-rebounded 38-29, but the more impressive stat there is they were out-rebounded on the offensive boards by 11. So no second chance opportunities either. I just think it's a great spot to take Missouri State again in revenge as the road dog, the team that is playing much better. Why I didn't use this play, however, the only caveat, the little asterisk next to this game is Missouri State hosts in Springfield number 1 Indiana State on Saturday. So that's the only thing that made me relegate this game to free pick status. However, I do like the Bears in this game. So those are your 2 complimentary plays. If I had to rate these 2, which one I liked more, I'm going to go with Missouri State. Yes, Missouri State definitely, because really, I do think Missouri State can win this game outright. And then the second play would be Texas State. So that'll do it, guys. Wish you well and talk to you again tomorrow.